Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So what coaching are we cooking up this evening? Well, I thought I'd reflect today on the market because we had a crazy, wild U-turn in the market, which we haven't seen in a while. But the market opened up very much in the red, led by the Boeing stock being down because of some crazy airline news about a door that got sucked open somehow. Pretty scary stuff, actually. And it's an airline that I've flown before, so definitely scary stuff. But anyway, uh, that definitely, not to look at things cynically, but that definitely created a buying opportunity today. But unfortunately, and this was a wild day for me, and actually, me, even as the coach, like I still learn stuff every day, and I definitely had a learning experience today. Um, so even though it was a buying opportunity, I knew it was a buying opportunity, and I was looking right at the prices that I wanted to buy in, especially for more SQY and Coney, because the way the market dropped, these two funds had, I felt like crazy buying opportunities. Oh, we got Cecilia's the first one attending class tonight. So welcome, Cecilia. By the way, I think you're on other Discord, so you'll have to give me some feedback because I'm not sure why my Discord is not as active as others. And I've tried to improve things over the last month or so. So you have to give me some direct feedback. But anyway, not to distract from the video here, we've got 7 of you on attending class this evening. I missed you all over the weekend, but I'm not sure why. I just didn't get a video out. Don't really have a good excuse this time, but I'll try to definitely step up the game. All right. So let's get rid of my full screen and let's go to something like Yahoo Finance. Let's see here. I'd rather have numbers in the background instead of just the full screen of me. So what I did today, actually, so I fully funded my Roth IRA for the year 2024, which I wasn't going to do yet because I'm a little uncertain about certain things going on. How's that for a oxymoron? Or is that I'm uncertain about certain things going on? Sometimes I don't even try. It just rolls off the tongue. But anyway, so as far as the futures, we're down in all 4 of the major indices today. So I will go a little bit deeper into the coach's playbook today and tell you all the types of moves that I attempted to make today, and a little learning experience that I had that hopefully I can share with you all. So what really disappointed me, because nothing really infuriates me as much as missed opportunity. And there was definitely missed opportunity today. So I've actually never had this happen. So I've been to like 3 different brokers in the past like 2 years. Some of it was out of my control. Some of it was because I changed employers and I had to use a different broker than what my last employer allowed. So, and then the other thing was because, well, TD Ameritrade got bought up by Schwab, and it took a while, but they finally transitioned to Schwab, which was kind of a mess actually. But Schwab has some crazy rules that when I made the contribution, I couldn't invest the money immediately, which kind of infuriated me because I was ready to buy in at a low point for both of these funds today. But I had to sit there as a bystander and watch them go up and up and up. It kind of felt like being a bystander watching other channels grow when I'm not uploading videos. So it was kind of one of those feelings, but a little worse actually. Because there would have been like $300 of upside right there on the table with what I was going to buy. So anyway, hopefully you all can learn from this. I mean, I'm not quite sure what there is to be learned from this. I guess it's just informative. I mean, obviously I've never had this happen with another broker, but they basically said that the money had to clear in order to be investable, which I've never had happen. There was more than enough money to cover the balance. Normally they just let you, but they said for these yield max funds that the money in the account had to clear before I could buy into them. My plan was to use the Roth IRA contribution, which most of you are savvy. You can obviously look up what that is. I'm not going to quite spell it out for you, but I was looking at doing half into Coney and half into SQY. So that would have been roughly 150 shares each at the low point. Now that's not the case because they both ran way up. So normally the coach is happy when the market goes way up, but I don't like sitting there like a bystander when I'm ready to invest more money and seeing it just do this and there's nothing I can do but sit there because of my broker, right? So what's the lesson? I'm not exactly sure what the lesson is. I guess for yield max, I don't know as much as I thought I did. I guess the money has to actually settle and clear before you can buy yield max. I don't remember running into that problem with Tesla, but for whatever reason, my broker gave me that issue today. So that was a real bummer. So with that being said, let's start out looking at Coney. Coney obviously had a really good day from where we opened to where we closed. So the Boeing news, if you look here at 9:30 in the morning, we opened, we actually look flat from start to finish. It's like a 6-cent differential because it's got us at 24.17 at the open of the market. But then the Boeing news hit, and then we were down to like 22.52. So that would have been a great buying opportunity at that point. From 22.52, we went up almost $2 a share. You see where we closed. We closed at 24.23, which I don't know if we're into symbolism because we're kind of numbers. Well, we are numbers people, but 24.23, it's like the current year and the last year. Kind of cool, right? But anyway, just got to make light of this somehow. It says we were up 77 cents today. But really, if you look at it from peak to trough, or from trough to peak, we were 22.52 all the way up to 24.23 where we closed. And we're up in the after hours, which is pretty much irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. With these yield max funds, the after hours typically don't matter. But anyway, yeah, we were at 24.23. So it was disappointing because I thought there was some extra meat on the bone, so to speak, after we closed December 28th at 30.01. And then we dropped right before the dividend. And then when the dividend came, then we dropped to like 23.63. And then there was an opportunity to buy for a whole dollar less than that. So it was kind of disappointing that Schwab did to me what they did. So I'm a little upset at Schwab, needless to say. I'll have to look into that further, why exactly that happened, because I don't recall that happening with Tesla. But then again, I was still with Ameritrade before I got dumped to Schwab. So I have to say Ameritrade was one of my favorite brokers. I know not everyone's a fan, but I'm a big fan of Thinkorswim. So anyway, yeah, I don't know why Schwab did that to me. But yeah, there was an opportunity to buy, like I said, at 22.50. So anyway, same thing happened basically with, well, let me go over why. So it was partly the macro environment, the market, that caused things to turn around so quick. And then also Coinbase was way up today. So Coinbase was up $5.44. Let's see if we overperformed or underperformed actually, because we were up 3.53% here. We slightly underperformed, but still not bad. It's almost tracking identically, which is impressive. So we were up 3.28% in the fund. We were up 3.53% in the stock. And let's see. And again, I still think we have room to run. So I'm still looking at these long term. I still think, speaking from where we are right now versus where I think we'll be, I still think that we have a lot of upside. So today's little hiccup will be just a speck in the rearview mirror pretty soon, I think. But nonetheless, we opened today. Same thing happened. We were down to 147.57. So this thing came back like $12. So if you were just playing Coinbase stock, this came back almost $12 today from trough to peak. So that's very impressive, obviously. And then we're down in the after hours. Again, all the indices are down. Now, I will tell you, so I'm a big believer in maxing out the tax advantaged accounts. Obviously, the 401k goes throughout the year. We got a little bit of an increase in that. The Roth is what it is. And then you can also do an HSA. Did that one today as well. And that one, I finally got into the TNA, the small cap. And that one, because it was kind of a crazy day. So that one's with Fidelity. Fidelity made me verify some crap, and I actually had to log in. I couldn't do the trade on my phone. So TNA also ran up as well. So again, I missed out on the upside that the bottom of the market created all the upside that came after it, nonetheless, because I got in like 30 minutes before the close. But anyway, nonetheless, that's a short-term hiccup. I'm still very bullish on the small cap for this year. I think we're going to have a good year across the board. It's really crazy looking back at 2023 how well we actually did. I mean, without even cutting interest rates, pretty much all the major indexes had a great year. I mean, the NASDAQ, we were up like 45%. The S&P, we were up like 25%, 26%, something like that. We had a great year. Even the small caps were, I think, around 20-something percent. So great year for all the indexes. And of course, the Dow, who gives a crap about the Dow, right? Anyway, so, and then SQY, we had a very similar story. So obviously I want to gobble up more of these shares for both of these because I'm impressed by the dividend. Now I think we're actually at a really decent buy point for SQY. We're at 21.90 right now. So we ended up 3.19%. And then if we look at the 1 day, so this was actually, this one didn't fluctuate as much. This one started the day at 21.48, only dropped a little to 21.40, and then gradually went up to 21.90, so we were up 68 cents. We're up in the after hours. Let's see how block behaved. Still trying not to call it a square. And then I will address all the comments here at the end. We got some good ones so far. So block was up $2.35 to 69.31. That number 69, of course. Some of you get amused by that for whatever reason. $2.35. So we opened, we were kind of at 67.39 and we gradually went up. So this kind of mirrored the behavior of block stock. So we were 3.51% in the stock. I believe the ETF for YieldMax was 3.19%. So a slight underperformance, but still very impressive that it can track almost directly with the stock and still pay out such a great dividend. So anyway, and then the move that I was actually able to make today, which I've been talking about for a while, the TNA, Direction Daily Small Cap Bull 3X shares, which is funny because what I had to do, they made me change my risk tolerance to most aggressive from, I was already at aggressive, but in order to buy this one, I had to change it to most aggressive, which I guess an HSA typically isn't maxed out in aggressiveness, but I'm just an aggressive guy. What can I say? So this one ended up 36.99. I got in like 36.90, which was close to the top. I wanted to buy in for like, I wanted to buy in here at 34.48. And I know some of you in the comments, you're going to say, well, I bought in at like zero. Because I feel like there's always someone out there that somehow buys in at zero, even though the fund never traded at zero. There's someone out there that always has perfect timing. And all I can say to that, if my audience is doing better than me, then I must be a really good teacher. Because when the students surpass the teacher, it means the teacher's done their job, right? So that's the only silver lining I can see to that. And wow, gold was up $6.40 today. Interesting. The Russell 2000 is very close to 2000 again, 1,997 in the futures. We were over it, but the futures are down right now. So 36.99 we closed at for the TNA fund. We were down as low as 34.48. So around 10 o'clock was where I really wanted to buy in, which I'm sure some of you bought in at the exact right time, of course. Maybe I should just have some of you trade for me. Anyway, so we closed here. We are down from where we opened. We were at almost $40. But check this out. If we go back like a year, well, no, we were at January 9th. We're actually flat. But we had a lot of moves in between. This is kind of what small caps do. This is why I'm historically leery of small caps. But at least in my 401k, I keep some exposure to small caps, maybe like 15%, if that. But if we go back here, so wow, this was at 97.89 in June of 21, back when everything was running up. We have a lot of fluctuations in between. But again, I just have the feeling that we're going to have a really good year for small caps. At least that's what the 8-ball told me. So, and as far as the actual index itself, we'll look at this one, then we'll do some comments. The actual index here is historically pretty choppy. But we were as high. So in 2021, that's crazy. You know why? So keep in mind, this TNA fund is a triple levered ETF. So even though the Russell only was as high as 2307, which is only 300 points, which is only like 15% higher than it's at right now, roughly speaking, um, the fund TNA was trading almost 3 times higher than it is now. Well, there's your 3x, right? Because when it runs up 3 times higher. So, but still, over $90. That's pretty phenomenal. So, all right, let's get to some comments now. You guys get my full face again. And let's see what brilliant insights you all have for me. So, the second one of you said good evening. Thanks for that. That's twice, not thrice. Warned you Schwab was a crook. Well, I would think with a name like TD, you must be pro TD Ameritrade. I really miss Ameritrade, I have to say. I'm glad we keep Thinkorswim because I can backtest all the options trades I've missed and lament over that. Some of them I hit. Meta went really well last year, but missed out on a lot of other ones. Let's see. Fidelity allows me instant access when I transfer. Well, it did for me as well because I was able to buy TNA with it, and I only spent like half of it on that because I'm waiting for a pullback in TNA. We'll see if it comes. My short-term timing historically is a little iffy. Anyway, so let's see what words of wisdom Cecilia has to say here. Just wait for the next X date, then invest that money. That's a good idea, actually. And we'll be getting paid here very soon, actually. Our first payday of the year. We're only 8 days into the year, and we're already talking our first payday of the year. It's pretty cool. We have 11 more to go. Actually, it's still 12 because we haven't gotten the first one yet. I agree, TD Ameritrade was awesome. Sorry they sold out. Yeah, I am too. Let's see, who is this here? Stellmore VH. I sold IWMY last week in my IRA, waiting for Coney to drop. Bought 13K of Coney at 2307. That's a pretty good buying point. Wish I could say I bought in there. LOL, yeah, for whatever reason. Lol. Ha, I know what that was about. Anyway. T and D are me and my wife's initials. Oh, that's cool. I like that. For some reason, I just thought it had something to do with TD Ameritrade, but that's good for you. And who knows, those numbers 6 and 9 sometimes correspond too. Anyway, all right, you all. Well, it was real and it was fun, but I can't go too much longer. So like, comment, and subscribe, and spread the word, and join Discord if you haven't already. We need to add that into the mix. I'd like to get the Discord built up. I'd like it to be as fun as some other channels have it. So if you all would be so kind as to spread the word, that would be awesome. Thank you all for tuning in. Take care, and we will hopefully see you tomorrow. Oh, new investor, a brand new investor joined and said he's bought 90 shares of Tesla. Well, hopefully that's still a good buying point, but we'll see. Time will tell, right? All right, you all. Yeah, I enjoy you all too. You all really make it fun for sure. Join the Discord if you haven't already. So, all right, that's it for me. Signing off. Take care. Have a great evening.